I'm Jalil N in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where much of the white stuff is now turning into wet stuff.
The race course at this amusement park had been a lot slipperier, but things have pretty much dried up. Nevertheless, for many people, the weekend was still a bust.
In fact, I can tell you the parking lot behind me, the majority of the cars here have North Carolina license plates, but that's not all. We even find a California license plate, so clearly people here coming from all stretches of the country. Soon the flames engulfed the entire 18-wheeler and its contents. Although you can still see the scars of the flames underneath this bypass, utility workers are realizing more than ever before the importance of keeping power lines out of Mother Nature's reach, and as the law cracks down on crooked cops. These days, you don't have to walk very far to come across construction, but this pales in comparison to the amount of construction this town will see during the next few years. Let me give you an example and show you something real quick. If it wasn't for the light that we've installed here, you can see it's a fairly dark area. Now, apparently what the criminals in this case did was try to find a cluster of cars in a parking lot that wasn't too lit up. At that point, they proceeded to try to make their way into the car to eventually make their way out with your valuables. The thief or thieves who broke into Layla Bassett's Honda Accord made away with $1,000 worth of stuff. Not to mention they did a number on her door.
They took a couple of bottles of Dom Perignon, some CDs, some other stuff out of the trunk.
Bassett is one of 11 residents at the Summit Hill apartment complex who got a rude awakening Friday morning.
About 10:30, my roommate and I were awakened to a knock on the door. It was this Durham City Police, and they told me they needed to talk to me because my car had been broken into.
Another 6 cars were struck at the Emerald Forest Apartments. In all, 17 cars hit during a few hours.
That is very surprising because I feel very safe out here, and I would have never thought that it would have happened out here.
I've been here for a couple of years, and I've never had any trouble. I usually come home really late at night, and I've never had any fear about coming home.
But many residents had no clue about what had happened.
I think they should have notified us immediately after they found out.
Now, authorities suggest you keep things such as cell phones and other valuable items out of sight so that thieves don't target your car.
If you've got a cell phone or something, put it in your trunk or hide it under your seat so that it's not visible.
Police also think alarms can act as a deterrent.
And watch people that are in your parking lot. If they seem to be going from car to car, something's not right. You know, they should know what car they have.
Now, we tried to contact the Summit Hill apartment property managers to ask them about having attempted to notify some of the residents here. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach them. As far as any information regarding this crime, if you do have some information, you can call Durham Crime Stoppers at 919-683-1200. We're live in Durham. I'm Jalil N, NBC 17 News at 11. Welcome. We're at Adventure Landing here in North Raleigh, where, as you can see, business is brisk as all these people are getting ready to board, then take off in their go-karts. But I can tell you, as we all know, it's been a rainy weekend. So has all that rain ruined the Labor Day holidays for people here? Oh, depends on who you ask.
It's not too bad.
A line drive straight for the first hole. But Maynard Ferguson is teed off at how the Labor Day weekend has gone so far.
I wanted to play yesterday, but it was raining, so I couldn't get out of the house. And today, I was determined I was going to play.
The rain has dampened his game.
It's a whole lot easier to hit the ball off the ground when the ground is hard and it's wet. Sometimes you don't hit it where you think you're going to.
Tokens? Businesses around town which profit from outdoor activities are hurting.
Oh, big time. They have a concert, they have a ball game, and it's raining, so where's everybody? I do not know.
The race course at this amusement park had been a lot slipperier, but things have pretty much dried up. Nevertheless, for many people, the weekend was still a bust.
Pretty much been shot.
Justin Lewis had big plans for the weekend, but while Justin's fishing trip got canceled, others took the opportunity to venture to the indoor hotspots Raleigh has to offer.
I haven't done an in-depth study, but I would say that overall, when it rains, people tend to want to come inside, and Explorers is a great place to come and visit when it's cloudy outside or raining.
Ginger.
This young group of ECU fans came all the way from Newbern for Saturday night's game.
We had planned to come here anyway, hoping that it wouldn't rain. It's ruined a lot of things that we could do this weekend.
So they played it safe indoors instead.
We didn't know if it was going to rain or shine, so we just kind of picked a thing that we could do inside.
Overall, it seems while Mother Nature altered many people's plan for the weekend, trying to make up for it before it's all over. Well, guys, I'm going to join the rest of the people here and go for a ride myself. Back to you. Indeed, tonight thousands of North Carolinians are crossing the border into Virginia in the hopes of getting a hold of one of these, a big game Virginia lottery ticket. They're hoping this will be the key to this.
Any more easy big games?
The jackpot has topped $230 million in the Virginia lottery. But the machines won't stop cranking the little slips until 10:58 this evening. That's when Oyster Miles hopes he'll learn he struck it rich.
Drove from Wake Forest area, so it was pretty good, about an hour and a half away. I'm coming along for the ride and gonna stick some numbers in while I'm here.
Gladys and Lloyd Young drove up from Durham. They're regular players in Virginia's lottery, but they're pressing their lottery luck a little more this time.
So what's the big difference today?
Oh, the big game.
Lloyd is playing it cool.
You might win, you might not. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy playing it.
Strategies for picking the perfect numbers abound.
I'm using birthday numbers, address numbers.
I'll publish it in a book form when I win.
The big game jackpot has gone up to $230 million from last Friday's jackpot when it stood at $100 million. But if somebody wins tonight, it'll immediately drop back down to $5 million.
But although all these people like the idea of playing the odds, not everyone thinks the lottery is a good idea for North Carolina.
After we got done with $1.3 billion in tax cuts, to go now and say to the poor people of North Carolina that a lottery is the way out for them to get out of their economic hole is a little bit misleading and probably very bad policy.
Others, like Attorney General and Democratic gubernatorial candidate Mike Easley, think it makes for good fiscal policy, and no one around here seems to dispute that.
My brother is from Georgia in the educational system, and he says it's done wonders for the educational system in Georgia.
But whether a lottery system in North Carolina is something that the majority welcomes still remains to be seen. It is already becoming a hot political issue and will likely be debated among the gubernatorial candidates in the coming months. Reporting live in Bracey, I'm Jalil N, NBC 17 News at 4.
Definitely a lot of snow indeed, Heidi. We put a lot of work into this, trying to kill some time here in the morning as the snow is falling, and now it's a little bit of rain. And John Deal, the satellite truck operator, wanted to also take some credit. I think he helped build the midsection there. But for the most part right now, as you can tell, there was about 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches of snow that fell in the Rocky Mount area on top of the roofs of our cars. When we woke up earlier this morning, there was probably a good 3 or 4 inches of accumulation there. That snow has now converted into what appears to be rain that's falling, and that happened about an hour and a half ago.